Hey everybody, many of you have visited KFC at least once in your life, and we ordered such a bucket of chicken. Here you have breaded legs, strips, and wings. It's all really tasty. So we decided to cook the same bucket, just not from chicken, but from ostrich. First of all, we ordered a huge bucket that was made special for us. Inside it has a spacer, as straight as the original. First of all, we cover the bucket with a layer of primer. Done. Now we paint white from the inside. And we cover the outside with red paint. Then we gave the bucket to an artist. You'll see the result later. We go to the store for some ostrich meat. We bought 2 huge pieces of ostrich meat. Throw it into the car. They weigh around 43 kilograms. And the check turned out to be for $760. Then we go to the hypermarket. We load 120 liters of sunflower oil directly into the car with boxes. Now you need olive oil, paprika, ginger, black pepper, basil, oregano, dry garlic, and lots of flour and cornflakes without sugar. The whole full cart cost us $285. We have 2 hefty ostrich legs. They still have the skin on them. It is unrealistically durable, so much so that they make shoes out of it, so it needs to be removed. With one hand we pull off the skin and use a knife to separate it from the meat. There you go. We cut off the unnecessary pieces of fat. Now we've cleaned one leg thoroughly. We repeat the same thing with the second one. When the 2 legs have been perfectly cleaned, you need to separate the shin from the skin. We do everything as carefully as possible so as not to chop the meat. We separate the bone along the joint. And we're left with 2 pieces, bone and flesh. The second one is cut lengthwise into 2 parts. In the future, these will be strips. We divide the second leg exactly the same way. There you go, the cutting's over. We have 2 bones and 4 sirloin pieces. But the fillet doesn't have the same shape we need, so if you like it like that, then it can fall apart. Let's use twine. With its help, we'll tie together a piece of meat. That's how it should turn out. We wrap all 4 pieces like this. And we're done. To make the marinade pass better into the meat, we'll use a thing with spikes. We just use it to punch through the pieces. And then we take a bath like this. Put ground ginger, paprika, oregano and basil into it. Black pepper, dry garlic, lots of salt, mustard, and a liter of olive oil. Now we mix all this up and pour in 20 liters of hot water. The spices will open up better like that. We lower the pieces of ostrich into the marinade. Add more water to cover all the meat. and leave it to marinate overnight. Now it's well softened. We spread some foil onto a table, parchment on top of that, now we get out our future strip. Let the excess marinade drain and put it out onto the parchment and wrap it up. We wrap the legs the same way. We do the same thing for every piece. Now take a baking sheet and put sealed pieces of ostrich on it. The first stage of cooking will take place in our huge oven. We put 4 refractory bricks on the cart. We put a baking sheet on top. And put that into the oven. Now we'll leave the meat to cook for 8 hours at a temperature of 180 degrees Celsius. Finally, the time has passed. We'll take it out of the oven. Let's cut the foil and see what's inside. The meat is definitely well cooked. Now we'll open up the rest of the pieces and cut off all the twine. We don't need that anymore. In order to deep fry such huge pieces of meat, you need a large vat and the oil we bought at the store. We open the boxes, we take out the bottles, open them, and pour the oil into the vat. Turns out we pour out about 120 liters. In order to heat this oil, we pour some heated coals into 2 braziers. Now we need to chop some wood. After that, we lay that all out on a grill. Now we just need to keep a good fire going for 2 hours. You'll need a grid like this. On that, we're going to put the meat into the deep fryer. We take 3 plastic basins. In one, we put water. In the second, flour. And in the third, we'll put 3 packs of cornflakes in without sugar. First, we put the ostrich leg into flour and roll it around on all sides. Then we lower it down into the water. And back into the flour. Back to the water. Flour, water, and the last stage is flakes. We're trying to cover the entire meat area with this. The braided leg is now placed on the grate. According to the same principle, we braided all the other pieces. The final step is lowering it into the deep fryer. Now we just need to keep the maximum heat so that the oil doesn't cool down. And after about 10 minutes of active boiling, we lift the grate. That's it. The KFC ostrich recipe is ready. By the way, this is how beautiful the bucket turned out after they painted a portrait of Colonel Sanders. We'll fill that with the breaded ostrich. You know, I think it turned out really cool and just like the original. Let's cut off a piece. Hello everybody, I think many people have seen the Kinder Country bar like this in the store. Let's open it up. It looks like just some kind of small chocolate. You need to cut into it and look inside. So, milk chocolate is on the outside. Inside there is a dense white filling and crispy cereal. I wonder what it tastes like. A cool candy bar with crispy little additions. So today we will cook the exact same thing, only 1,000 times bigger. Let's go. The most important thing is to make a high quality mold, and our dad's gonna help us out with that. We wrap a plywood sheet and fix it with adhesive tape. The parchment should be well stretched so that there are no folds. The bottom is ready. Now we are armed with a screwdriver and corners. We fasten them to the plywood. Now you need to cut the plywood for the walls with an electric jigsaw. We also wrap them in parchment and put them in their places. We cut the ceiling skirt board at 45 degrees and join them inside our mold. In the middle, a metal corner should pass along the entire shape. You also need to cut the corner into small pieces. We assemble our form as a constructor. Now you just need to fix all of this with the help of thermal glue, so that later, at the most crucial moment, none of this seeps out. At this point, the form is completely ready. And we will buy the food products to make up our Kinder Country. So, milk chocolate, we bought 30 kilograms. Sugar, 13 kilograms. Powdered milk, we bought 2 whole bags of 25 kilograms. Palm oil, a 20 kilogram box. It also consists of crispy cereal, namely Air Wheat, Air Rice, Air Barley, and Air Buckwheat. We couldn't find this though, so we'll make it ourselves from ordinary buckwheat. It's pretty simple. So pour 1 kilogram of buckwheat into a saucepan. Pour in 2 liters of water. And put it on to cook until all the water evaporates. Done. We remove it from the stove and scatter it onto 4 baking sheets. We distribute it with a spatula so that there is a layer of the same thickness everywhere. Done. We push the baking sheets into the oven. Set to only 50 degrees in the convection mode. We need to wait 5 hours, and then you can take it out. We're left with completely dry boiled buckwheat. Now for the last step. To do this, we will prepare a deep fryer. You're going to need to heat the oil to more than 200 degrees. And now we throw our buckwheat into it. It starts to explode and pop like popcorn. Give this video a like if you didn't know that you can make popcorn from buckwheat. We lift the sieve and shake off all the excess oil. There you go, popped buckwheat onto the paper towels. And we repeat this many more times. Now we have all the airy cereals we need. Next ingredient we're going to need is animal fat. We grab some butter. Soy lecithin was also bought. And the last one is vanilla. We will use natural vanilla pods. And all of this will go into our Kinder Country. Chocolate is first in line. We open up a box. And pour 10 kilograms of milk chocolate into the Marmite. Periodically mix it until it all completely melts. Done. We take our form, and first of all we will smear all the joints with hot chocolate, so that then the bulk of the chocolate does not flow into them. Now we pour in the remaining chocolate. And evenly distribute it according to the shape. It's set now. Now inside the mold, we put another wall wrapped with food wrap. They will not allow the white filling to reach the main walls, and there will be room for chocolate. We fix them in with clamps. We take palm oil out of the box. Using a machete, we cut this briquette in half. And put it into pots. We got some butter. We open them up. And 2 packages into each pan. We put it on the stove and heat it up. Open up some sugar. And pour it into the melted butter. We thought that the sugar would dissolve the worm oil, but this didn't happen. Well, that's alright. We take 2 huge basins, open up some bags of powdered milk, and pour in 25 kilograms into each basin. Now we need some vanilla. We take the pads out of the bag. High quality vanilla must be oily. So we cut them lengthwise and scrape the seeds with a knife. This is the most valuable and fragrant part. We dump it into a bowl and continue to get the seeds. We scatter them evenly, but do not throw out the shells, because they're also very fragrant. So we send them into the dryer. We set it for 70 degrees and turn it on. We will dry them for 5 hours. Cut them into short pieces. And send them into the coffee grinder. Here they will turn into a powder. Done. The vanilla powder is also scattered into the basins. Here we also pour melted palm oil with sugar. And now all this needs to be mixed with a huge mixer. We're left with a mass similar to cottage cheese. So we mix 2 basins. Now we need a mélange and turn it on. We collect this mass with a saucepan and pour it into the mélange. Now we need soy lecithin. It'll help mix the products at the molecular level and make them thinner. 30 minutes later, the mass has become homogeneous. Turn off the mélange and pour the contents into the mold. Even with the addition of soy lecithin, the mass turned out to be really thick. Now we need to add some airy cereals. For this batch, we use Air Wheat, we press it into the white mass and make a second batch of the filling. And to make it even thinner, we melted a little bit of palm oil and pour it into the melon jar. Knead for another 30 minutes. And pour it into the mold. This time the mass turned out to be what you need. And we'll add in some air buckwheat. Mix it with the filling. So, our third filling. Add some airy rice into it. And mix it in too. To the fourth filling, add the exploded barley. We continue to fill the form in the same way. Now we wait for the solidification of the white mass. We remove the clamps, unscrew the screws, and remove all the walls. We're left with an even layer of filling. Now we return only the outer walls back, and fix them in place. We have an even cavity for the chocolate layer. Therefore, it's time to open up the milk chocolate and set it into the marmite. But this time, the chocolate needs to be more liquidy, so we add more oil and mix it all well with the chocolate. Now that's right, it's done. We scoop the chocolate into a cup and fill the walls of our giant Kinder Country. The chocolate was enough to fill all the walls, and even the thin layer of the bottom. So we need it thicker, so we'll melt some more chocolate. Pour it out into the middle of the mold. And use a wide spatula to level it out. Now we just need to wait until the chocolate sets. Done. In order to get the Kinder Country out of the mold, put on some plywood and fix it with the corners. Now we need elevations, to which we carefully turn our shape. That's it, you can take everything apart. During this assembly, we slightly damaged the bar. Therefore, you're going to have to fix it up with some hot chocolate. Just cover up all the gaps. On each cube of the original Kinder chocolate, there is such a spike. To repeat it, we will make a stencil. We cut it out with the jigsaw from thin fiberboard. And after 3 hours, it's done. We apply it to the cube. In scratching, we outline the stencil first from the outside, and then the inside. Done. So you need to do this 9 more times. Now 1,000 times enlarged copy of our Kinder Country is ready. In my opinion, it turned out practically one and the same. Let's cut out a piece.